priest. I need not a white robe or regalia to make decrees. I enforce realities on my nails. I increase when I decrease in him. I am priest. Originally, I originated from the God tribe. I belong to a group of pride, lions that hails from Zion. I speak in tongues to legislate. I roar in prayers to communicate with my Father. I am priest. One who is legally permitted to take incense into the throne room. No, I deal not with terrible filled with coals of smoke that chokes. Rather, my life is that host that releases sweet, holy smelling savour to my maker. I am priest. I am beyond a religious leader. I am a bona fide citizen from the tribe of Judah. I perform my sacred duties on my altar of prayers. I wage war with the enemies in spiritual places. I am priest, and my kind was birthed in Genesis 2, and our ordination was perfected in 1 Peter 2. So it's true that we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, one who has been called out to show forth the praise of him who has called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. But question, how can we show men this light when we are still lost in the dark? How can we show forth his praise when we are craving the same for ourselves? We have been called priests, set to foresee from a standpoint of prayer, assigned to take lead from a standpoint of knowledge. But how can we when we've exchanged the truth of the gospel for a piece of sausage? My generation has failed in our priesthood for now. Our priests now bow even when they took a vow not to go down on the call of God. Our priests now parade the streets with our regalia stained with sin. Our priests now questions the ministry of the Holy Spirit even when we should lead men to his dealings. Our priests. But what do you expect? How are we expected to showcase God in public when we dine with sin in private? What do you expect? How are we expected to declare God in public when we dine with the devil in private? Of course, I know that while AEC and SSCE qualifies our students yet to be in high school, but in the spirit school, your qualification into priesthood is not dependent on your first class in theology. It is dependent on your level of intimacy. Your qualification into priesthood is not dependent on your first class in theology. It is dependent on your level of intimacy. So you see, this priesthood is more like a brotherhood. And to get into this hood, you have to not be entangled with unnecessary sleep, premarital sex, and excess food. This priesthood is more like a brotherhood. And to get into this hood, you must not be entangled with unnecessary sleep, premarital sex, and excess food. For in this priesthood, sacrifices must be made. And for sacrifices to be sealed, blood must be sealed. So in this priesthood, your flesh will be butchered. Your motives will be altered. Your comfort will be denied. Your ambitions will be shattered. Or tell me, how would Moses have encountered the burning bush if he hadn't left the comfort of the palace? How would Peter have walked on water if he hadn't left the comfort of the boat? Of course, I know that the truth chokes. But priesthood is meant for those who are completely broken. I mean, broken in spirit and pure in heart. This is the ultimate goal. This priesthood comes with loads of responsibility, and this has nothing to do with your physical look. Be you fair or dark, rich or poor, tall or short, hosting God must be a deliberate act. So you see, in this priesthood, the height of your priesthood is dependent on the depth of your consecration. And the height of your priesthood is dependent on the depth of your consecration. The solidity of your priesthood is dependent on the validity of your intimacy with God. So priest, it is time for us to return to our secret place. For the secret place of the Most High is where priests like us are made. Because this priestly regalia we wear is not made for modeling. It is meant for travailing and compelling men into this kingdom. This priesthood regalia is not made for modeling. It is made for compelling men and women into this kingdom. So priests, it is time to avail yourself, for generations are waiting, but they don't wait for men and women regularly walking on the street. They wait for priests like you and I, who have dwelt under the secret place of the Most High, who has abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So I and priests, I need not a white robe or regalia to make the grace. I enforce realities on my news. I increase when I decrease in Him. I am praised. Originally, I originated from the God tribe. I belong to a group of pride, lions that hail from Zion. I am praised. But who are you?